What's up, you guys? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Married to Medicine, Season 9, Episode 3. Heavenly Intervention, you guys. This episode was a doozy. Alright, you guys, so before we jump into the review, if you guys are watching this channel or any other video, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on my channel and are not subscribed to my channel, then I urge you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video, you guys. And with that out the way, without further ado, let's discuss Married to Medicine, shall we? Alright, you guys, so this episode we open up and we see Ms. Quad and Simone, and they are meeting up for lunch. So this time Quad is for once she's on time, she's not late. And, Simone mentions that to her. So they sit down and they start talking. And Quad tells Simone about her new home, how she has her mother living there, and also how Mason's living with her. And baby Mason is running Miss Quad. He calls her and asks her where she is. When he tells her to call him when she's on her way back. I used to do that to my mama. I used to do that to my mom. Like, when did I used to do that to her a lot. Like, tell me when you get back home, call me. When you get home, let me know. And she'd be like, you're not my daddy. I'm not your daddy, but I am your son. And you're going to tell me when you're at home. Okay, daddy. And that's what she would do to me sometimes. Bitch, I wasn't talking to you. What did you find? Quad Webb and Mariah Huck's sister are forced to. Like, you so nosy. Married to Medicine, good news, bad news. You are really nosy. Girl, you are nosy. I wasn't talking to you. So this episode, I wasn't talking to you. Back to the show, you guys. So Simone is telling Quad that about, her. Did she tell her about the book? I don't know if she told her about the book. I know she was telling her about Miles and him dating his girlfriend. She's Asian. Her name is Andrea. She's like Andrea. Same difference. Oh, I do want to I want to answer a question that I was asked last week before I move on. So I was asked last week. I can't. I know your face. I know your profile when I see it. I just can't pronounce the name. But I was asked last week, what were my thoughts on Mariah Huck? Because that's what this thing said. That's what she was talking about, Mariah and Quad. So Mariah, I wasn't a Mariah fan, you guys. I was never a Mariah fan. If I had to rank in order to like who I liked. Now, you guys know I like all the doctors. That's really, for Married to Medicine is really interesting. I love all the doctors. Every doctor. The wives, the wives of the doctors, haven't been the biggest fans of. Season one, I almost stopped watching it because of Mariah and Quad. Because I just couldn't take the over-exaggerated gay lingo that they were for me. I said this years ago that they were over-exaggerated gay men because they were doing too much for me. They were doing the Tamarisms, and even with her, I get sick of her. I get sick of the Tamarisms at times. So Mariah, I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I will say when they iced Mariah out, season 2 and 3, I believe it was, when they iced Mariah out, I was on Mariah's side because all the ladies had jumped on Quad's side, defended Quad, but they completely exiled Mariah. So that's that. But I'm not the biggest fan of either. You guys know I'm not a fan of Toya. You guys know when it comes to Quad, it's the voices for me. And when it came to Mariah, it was not her. It was the over-exaggerated gay man for me. So, yeah. So that's that. So next up, let's talk about Contessa and Toya. It's really odd to see Contessa and Toya hanging out with each other Now we know that when Contessa was brought onto the show, that she was brought when she was brought on as quote unquote Toya's friend. But we all know how reality TV works at this point. That they just do that. They say that they have someone introduce this person, even though they might not be the best of friends. They may know each other in social settings and things like that. So it's interesting to see them because we know over the last, it's been quite a few seasons. Hell, it was just last season where they were arguing with each other, but now they're cool with each other because of this issue with Heavenly and her YouTube channel. Now I know you guys I saw Keisha from Color Me Pinks. I saw her video. I saw the interview with Heavenly and Bryce from is he from ET or Extra? Whatever he's from. I saw the interviews. So it is kind of confusing. If you listen to what Heavenly is saying in regards to Contessa, it is confusing. But at the same time, let's not sit here and act like Heavenly does not go on that YouTube channel and talk shit about her friends. She has talked about, I have saw her talk shit about Quad on, so I saw her last season when they were talking about the social media post. Now I don't think Heavenly was being shady last season when it came to Quad. But I remember when Quad and Heavenly got into it on Instagram. Heavenly has a way of saying things about these ladies. She's talked about Cecil. She's talked about, she said a lot of shit. She apologizes about it, but then she backtracks. How many times has Heavenly said your mama to Mariah? How many times has she said that at a reunion and say, you know what, I'm going to stop saying your mama. But then next time her and Mariah are arguing with each other, your mama. So we're not gonna act like Heavenly is not. We're not gonna act like Heavenly don't do some shit like that because she does. She's done it to Mariah. She's done it to Quad. She's done it to. She damn sure does it to Toya. Damn. And like I said last week, if anybody really should be mad at Heavenly about what is said on that YouTube channel, it is that damn Toya. And Quad can be mad as well because she has said some things about Quad. So. Now, child, what threw me with Toya was she talking about she want to do a self-care day. I'm like, girl, ain't every day a self-care day for Toya? Does Toya have a job besides Married to Medicine? And I'm not shading Toya because, baby, I would love to be kept. I'm keeping it real with you. I would love to be a kept man. I would love to be married to someone that is rich. And I ain't got to go to work. All I got to do is be like, ooh, get up out the bed. Do I want to go to the country club today? Do I want to go to the pool? Do I want to go to the tennis court? I would love to have Toya's life. I am not going to hate on Toya by no means. I would love to have that life. But I wouldn't want it to the extent like what I feel like with Eugene. Because I feel like with Eugene, he works himself to the bone to make Toya happy. I just feel that way. I wouldn't want that. I just want a nice, lavish lifestyle where we could just. Do I want to go to the country club? Do I want to go to the pool? Do I want to go to the tennis court? Bitch, do I want to go to Dubai today? Do I want to go to Paris? Do I want to go here? Like, I would love that kind of lifestyle. But not to the point where my spouse is working tooth and nail. So she's talking about Eugene and the fact that he wants to figure out what makes him happy. Oh, God, Toya. I'm going to leave Toya alone for right now. I'm not going to go too deep into Toya because I could. So then they talk about Heavenly. And now I didn't know that Heavenly was talking about Eugene and the fact that, he acts like a woman. I'm like, now that ain't cool. Now I know she talks about them in that house and how Toya, how hard he has to work to live up to her lifestyle. I've definitely heard those things because I've told you guys. I've caught bits, and I don't watch Heavenly's YouTube faithfully, but there are times where I will go and sit and watch her YouTube. Not often. I don't watch it all the time, but I do watch it enough. I think Bravo needs to get to the point, because I know that Tamra is going back to OC, and she has that podcast with Teddy, and she and Teddy were just talking about it the other day. With Tamra going back to OC, she won't be able to do recaps of the episode. So Teddy is trying to figure out who they want to come. Do they want people to guest with her to talk about OC? I feel like they need to get to the point. I feel like because Candy is the one that started it with Speak On It. Then Mariah had was Candy first or was Mariah? I don't know. I noticed Candy first, then I noticed Mariah, then Nene came in, and then we got Heavenly. I think Bravo needs to nip that in the bud. Candy does a good job with Speak On It. She doesn't go. She just gives kind of like behind the scenes. She doesn't actually review the episode. She just talks about the episode. She gives us some behind the scenes things. Heavenly does a whole damn review of the episode. Heavenly does a whole fucking review. Now, again, I know Mariah did some stuff. I just never watched Mariah's channel because, again, I ain't a Mariah fan. I don't see it from Mariah like that. So there was no purpose in me ever tuning into Mariah's channel because she wasn't my favorite person. But I knew she had one. I actually tried to watch one of Mariah's videos, but I clicked off immediately. It was a no for me. I said, nope, can't do this because I can't do it. Now, let's be real. What's her name? Heavenly would be pissed off if anybody made any mention to Damon in the way that she talks about Cecil, the way she's talked about Eugene. She would be ready to fight somebody, and I don't think Heavenly can fight. But I think Heavenly would be ready to fight somebody. So Contessa tells Toya that she wants to do basically an intervention with Heavenly. I was like, good luck with that one. And they call someone to tell her. I'm like, so Simone, you just really gonna go with this? You know Heavenly's not gonna be here for this. So yeah, let's pause here, you guys, and let's move forward. Alright, you guys, so next up, let's talk about Dr. Jackie. So we see Dr. Jackie, who is meeting up with one of her patients, and her patient, she's almost at the end of her pregnancy. They were talking about the umbilical cord. They used a term. I couldn't really understand what the term was she was saying, but it was something wrong. It's something wrong with the umbilical cord. I don't think the baby, I don't know if the baby's not getting the proper nutrients that it should be getting from the mother. But with her going into birth, when her getting ready to have the baby, there are some negatives that could happen, and it could be towards the baby. And see, here is the thing: you have, I hate to get on here and get so preachy, but there's so many things that I want to say, but to sum up what I want to say, you have these Republicans and these pro-life people who are so against abortions. But when you hear things like this could hurt the baby. This could hurt the baby. And I'm not saying that this would be an instance where you would want to. This would be a situation where this would be a decision between the mother and her doctor. If you tell her that there's a potential that it could harm her baby or her, that is not the decision of the courts. That is the decision of the mother and the doctor. Sorry, you guys, I got sidetracked. So yeah, that ain't y'all's decision. That is not y'all's decision. So Dr. Jackie is telling the woman some questions to ask, postpartum. Because again, as African American women are more prone to, dying during childbirth and after childbirth. And like I said yesterday when we were doing P-Valley review, there is a special on Hulu that is talking about, because there's a special, ABC special about, black women and them dying during childbirth and after childbirth, you guys. So let's pause here, you guys, and let's move forward. Alright, you guys, so I'm going to smash Anila and Toya together just for the hell of it, because neither one of their scenes were that much. So Anila and Kieran, they have the kids, and you guys remember last week Ms. Gomez was telling them that she's going to be moving back to Houston. Well, their kids have to say goodbye to Ms. Gomez, and you can really see that the kids and Ms. Gomez love one another, and you can definitely see it when that little girl was crying when she drove out of the driveway. Anila, girl, you're going to be fine. You can still blog and be a mother to your kids. Toya, we see her with Eugene, and Toya is talking about, who's it? I don't know who that is. Toya is talking to Eugene, and he's asking her what is she gonna do today. She says she has to work with one of the little boys on a project that he has to do. So then he's talking about how, with work, he is just not that happy. And he feels like he's working a whole lot more. She's like, you don't necessarily have to. He says, I do. Because he was the director during COVID. But now that he's not the director, he's taken on more work clinically. And with that director money, with him not having that director money, the reason why he's taking on more work clinically is to basically offset the fact that, if I keep working as I was, to make the money that he was as a director, he has to work a little bit more. Damn. I'm gonna keep my mouth closed on that one. So Toya's talking about once again how she needs some me time. I'm like, girl, you have me time every day. What it must be like to be Toya. And he tells her he's sinking and he needs something and something needs to change. I'm like, Toya, find some way to alleviate this. Your husband is literally sitting here telling you he feels like he is sinking. Okay, I'm gonna leave Toya alone. I'm just gonna leave Toya alone, because literally when you see Toya, it's like it was going in this ear and coming out this ear. What Eugene was saying to Toya. I don't know how he's married to Toya. No shade to Toya, but I just don't know how he's married to her. But let's pause here, you guys, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the episode. So next up, you guys, we see Simone. So Simone is having lunch with Omarosa. So she met Omarosa years ago. I used to like, stop. So with Omarosa, I used to like Omarosa when she was first on The Apprentice, the first season of The Apprentice. I liked Omarosa because she took no shit. She was a badass. I liked her. And then the more she got up under who, I was like, yeah, I don't necessarily see it for Omarosa no more. I don't see it for her, because I was here for Omarosa when she read Bethany. I was here for her when she read Wendy Williams about her wig sitting 3 inches off of her head. Oh my God, that is the best read, because Wendy had no comeback but to say, you're on my show. But she just read you on your show. So, remember that Cecil and Simone are writing the book, and they're going to Omarosa because Omarosa has written the book and they just want some advice from Omarosa. So they tell her about the book, what it is. It's a couple's book. Michael also called, and Omarosa loves Michael, and she asked could she speak to him. So they said that they knew Omarosa long before she went to work for who. I just don't understand how she, You know what? I'm not going to judge Omarosa for working for him. I'm going to leave it alone. So, Omarosa asked him some good questions, because she was like, people who buy this book, you got to appeal to them, because we all know Cecil and Simone, but other people who don't know them, they're like, you guys are the American dream. You guys went to college, you graduated. Simone is an OBGYN. You guys are very successful in your careers. You guys have your kids. You guys have your home. Do they still have their second house, which I still thought was stupid when Simone and Cecil got that second house? Do they still have their second house? I don't know. They haven't said anything about it. So Cecil was like, well, he grew up in South Central LA. His parents were divorced. Simone's parents were divorced. And that's when Omarosa was like, that's what you need to put at the beginning of the book to relate to people. Let them know, like, yes, we've been married for 25 years. We've had our ups and downs. But we are also two children. We are also the products of failed relationships. But because our parents were divorced, we went and did things a lot differently than what our parents did. Even though we all know that Cecil and Simone almost came to a divorce, but they worked their situation out and they are, happier. They seem like they're much happier now than they probably have ever been. So now, you guys, let's get to this intervention. So Contessa has called all the ladies over to the house for the intervention, and the only people who know about this is Toya and Simone and Contessa. So she told the ladies that they are going to come over for a movie night, It's a movie night, but it's not that kind of movie. It's going to be highlights of things that Heavenly has said on her YouTube channel. So Contessa tells them that, once the ladies come in, she wants them to put their phones in a little pouch thingy, so that way no one gives Heavenly a heads up about what's going on. So Anila is the first one to show up, and Toya is the one that's answering the door. I'm like, girl, you made a big mistake having Toya's ass answer the door. So Toya asked Anila for her phone, and Anila was like, girl, for what? She says, you'll find out in a little bit. So she was like, okay, forget it. She put it in there. Quad is the next one to show up. So Toya says, hey, put your phone right here. She was like, whose phone is that? Anila's. She's like, no. Can I put it on? Yeah. She's like, nope. Here or you leave. I was like, Toya, it ain't that deep. I get that. And so Contessa, so she went back in and she went back in there and told Contessa and Simone and that Quad is leaving. They're like, what? Wait, no, don't let her leave. So they rush out of there and they tell Quad like, come back. So Quad comes back and she does put her phone down, I think. So then next to show up was Dr. Jackie. When Dr. Jackie came in, Toya did the same thing to her. Put your phone here. Dr. Jackie's like, can I leave it on the counter? She's like, nope, right here. But Dr. Jackie is an OBGYN, so she needs her phone. And she was like, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go. And once again, Toya went and told them. And they were like, Toya, no. So Simone chased after Dr. Jackie and told Dr. Jackie, come back. You can leave it on the counter. That's fine. So they go downstairs to the movie room. And they want to know, why are we here? So Contessa tells them that this is going to be an intervention for Heavenly. And Quad was like, that's y'all are some low down dirty shame, basically. I get where Quad is coming from, and so I'm gonna talk about this in a minute. Actually, we can go ahead and talk about it now, because eventually Heavenly showed up. So Anila wasn't feeling it, Quad wasn't feeling it, and Jack is like, girl, this is not gonna go the way you think it is. And I agree. So I'm going to play devil's advocate, because I can see both sides of the coin. I can see where Contessa's coming from. You are on your YouTube channel talking shit about your friends, and we are not checking you about that. So we need to do something. But I also see Heavenly's point of view. If you guys feel, but then again, we got to think about it. Heavenly does apologize, like I said earlier. Heavenly will apologize and then do the shit 15 minutes later. So it's kind of like, what is the best thing to do? So, baby, they start showing everything that she said. And I mean, she told, talking about Toya, that bitch came up. I was like, oh my God. She said she thinks does she think Quad sleep with married men? I was like, what the fuck, man? The thing, like, I get it, man. Like, I get it when, when it comes to Heavenly. She's talking about the shit that we see on the show, right? But these are you know these people, and then you're on YouTube talking to fans of the show. I don't know, man. I don't know, you guys, because like I just said a minute ago, it's the thing. Some of the things she talks about are things that they talk about on the show. She said some stuff about Jackie and Lurch. Heavenly, at one point, Heavenly was just laughing. She was laughing. I'm like, Heavenly, they're telling you, okay, okay. I don't know. I just don't know what to feel, because I can see Contessa's them side and I can see Heavenly's side. So let me know what you guys think, you guys. Let me know what you guys think about that. Because I get it. Heavenly is talking about the ladies, and she's talking about some of the things that are on the show. But at the same time, these are your friends. And if you should... I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like she could talk to her friend. Like with the stuff with Contessa, you could have had a conversation with Contessa about how you really felt. And you didn't have to take it to YouTube. I just want you guys to tell me what you guys think and feel in the comments below, and we can definitely discuss going forward. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed. I'll catch you guys in the next one.